Hello farmers, welcome back to Hinterland. Just finished checking up on the windmill, make sure it's working as it's intended to, and it seems to be. I have no idea. But anyways, I've been spending the last 45 minutes or so kind of clear cutting the mountain, if you will. I did leave some trees on the side of the hill here. Helps keep the soil intact so we don't get any erosion. Too bad the base trees don't grow. But they'll just stay there. They're not big enough to chop on down, but yeah, you can see I cut down a lot of trees, and we still got some more to go. The sawmill is full of wood, and it's making lumber, planks, wood beams, long planks, prefab walls. Those are the four. Our stone pine trees that we planted, it seems like a while ago, they are in the first growth stage. They are 8 meters tall, and if I remember from Solyndra, the next stage should be like 15 or 16 meters tall, then they'll get up to like 25 or so. But they do produce more liters of wood than the spruce trees. So yeah, the sawmill's up and running. I've been taking care of the animals. I've gone around also to the fields and kind of got our crop rotation down for the year. I feel like I'm missing something in that case there, but we'll worry about that later on. But I got 0.8 hours on this tree harvester, so I'm going to try to keep my eye on it when it hits 0.9. Of course, every number goes up. That's just another 6 minutes that we've used it for. So when it hits 0.9, if I use it for like another 4 minutes or so, I think that's the time to change it on in. But if I don't see it change over to 0.9, and then I look down and it says 0.9, then I'll probably just say let's return it, because I don't want the extra hourly fee on it. I'm already leasing enough stuff on Goldcrest Valley. I don't want to be leasing and spending money here on Hinterland, especially when I don't really need the extra logs currently. But, you know, I want to get every penny I can out of this thing. It did cost us, what, 25 grand or so to lease this. We definitely get our money back. I mean, look at all the stuff we get from the sawmill, so it's worth it. But yeah, when we did lease it, that brought us down to 6 grand. But in the last 2 hours, the BGA, of course, is doing its thing, and so is the wind turbine that I just checked on, and the solar panels on the sheds. So we're back up to, well, we'll just say 24,000. Yeah, I'm not sure when we do get around to cutting the stone pine up here. I'm guessing I can cut all those trees in an hour. That's 240 trees, though. It seems like a lot. But since they're kind of in a row and kind of close together, probably something I could do. I may not replant trees up here. I'm not too sure if I want to do that or not. I may want to do something up here. Maybe put like a production building down, or maybe just put a placeable building down. I'm not sure. So the line I'm kind of going on, we kind of own this property. This is our property line somewhere along here. So I'm just trying to cut it down, so if I don't get this done this time with the tree harvester, at least I'll have an idea of where the property line is. And as for the stumps, I'm going to do what I did before, which is just going to easy developer mod and go ahead and eliminate the stumps. You don't need to see me going around for probably a couple of hours. Getting rid of stumps can be kind of painful sometimes. And with the amount of trees I cut down, we got a lot of stumps up here, so I think it's just be easier to go in and just say, remove stumps. I guess what I could do, kind of make it more real. I mean, I could eliminate the stumps and then deduct maybe like $2,000-$3,000 out of my bank account, just as if I paid someone to do it. So maybe that's what I'll do. Not too worried about the money on this series. We'll make it. We're making it now. There we go. Now I have a rough idea where the property line is. Me and the tree harvester get along rather well until once in a while it always seems like the trees tend to bind up on the harvester itself, and then the tree that you're harvesting falls out of the grabber. I don't know what you want to call that piece, but falls out. Then you have to get out with a chainsaw and try to guess the length that goes into the back of the trailer, which is 12 meters. It could be like 20 minutes, it's fine, and then for like the next 2 or 3 minutes, just keep getting, the trees will swivel and get stuck on the tree harvester and pop on out, and then you have to get out and delimit. I didn't pay $24,000 to have to get out and delimit tree. So this is all we need to do in the month of February. I didn't think I was going to have to do this anyways, but at the end of the last episode, when I was checking out the production buildings, I saw the sawmill and went, whoops, sawmill is out of wood. But now it's full, it's running. Oh, I've also gone around and done a little bit of landscaping. Oh, 0.9 hours. All right, just checking my clock to see what time it is, or I can look at my stopwatch. That would help. Yeah, so we'll just do it like that. All right. So I'm gonna do it for like another 3.5 minutes, and then just return it, just to be sure. Got plenty of logs up here. Should last us about 1.5 years, unless I upgrade the sawmill. I'm just going for the bigger trees, like the very little ones. I'm just going to leave up here. If I decide to put a production building up here in the future or something else, and the trees are in the way, well, we'll get rid of them then. Then it's, yeah, in a few minutes, it's off to the month of November, after I feed the cows, just before I go to bed. The sheep, I may need to bring the sheep over some grain grist. I don't know if they got enough to get them through another month or not, but... And I got plenty of grain grist over at the production building. Any more trees? Nope, not that way, so we can turn around and grab this one. Yeah, so it's going to be good to get to planting. It took me about a good 10-15 minutes going around looking at the fields like, okay, this field's going to be good for this crop. But then it's like, okay, well, I don't have any fields yet for this crop, so where do I need to put this crop? And yeah, crop rotation can make it a little bit more challenging just trying to get a good yield. I mean, I'm trying to get better than average. But this year we're going to have to settle for just a couple of average fields, which is fine. But I mean, if you can get, you know, the yield up to a 1.15, that is great. And along with precision farming, we can really get ourselves a nice little bonus going. About another minute or so, so I think we'll just take care of these few trees in front of me. And then we'll say goodbye to the tree harvester. I tend to use this tree harvester now all the time after a silver run, just because the grabber can take up to 80 centimeters. So I know that if this tree harvester can't grab the tree, which I haven't found any trees yet other than these sequoia trees on Silver Run, that no other tree harvester is going to be able to grab it. And I just saw this one. This one's like, okay, this one needs to go. No, I didn't want to fold the tree harvester. I hit the wrong button. Last tree, and then return it. I should have a couple more minutes before the top of the hour, but alright, just turn it off. If I drive it back to the store, that'll definitely put me over the hour. So let's go in and return that. Thank you. Alright, next thing I want to do is we're going to go into Easy Developer Mod, and we're going to remove the stumps. Remove stumps. And all the stumps should be gone while the trees are here. And then what I'm going to do is go in here and remove 3,000. We paid someone 3,000 to come in here and remove the stumps for us. There we go. well worth it in my in my book. I would have spent a lot of time around here. So plenty of logs to come around and pick up for the next year and a half or two. And hopefully by then the stone pine would be good, but we still got plenty more trees here, as you can see. Nice big beefy spruce trees that we can cut down and we'd be all set on. And we do own all of those trees, if I can get a good angle here, on that knoll in front of us. So plenty of trees to cut. I think we're good on wood. I don't think we really have to plant anymore, although it would be nice to plant some more oak trees around because we got a lot of saplings and maybe some, maple trees or whatever else in the future. All right, so we are all set here in the month of February. So it's time to see you in the month of March where we can start to planting in some crop and get going on the new harvest season. Well, we kind of already did with the cotton, but you know what I'm saying. All right, going to bed and waking up here in March. I'm gambling a little bit on the sheep. Not a big gamble. If they're just, low on one part of their food. But I think they're going to be fine because I only use 10%. Take care of the animals. Oh, it's raining to start the day. That's not what you want. Well, we're still above 0 in the bank account, which is nice. All right, let me go ahead and check on the animals. What's going on here? Chickens are getting kind of low. Okay, yep, they need some love and care. The cows, water, food, they're all looking good. And the sheep, power food, they ran out of power food. Okay. And they're a little bit low on the protein silage. So, yeah, even though we're in March, the grass should be growing. So hopefully their pasture will help out a little bit. But we're going to have to take care of the animals, I think, right away. Be the best thing to do. Since it is raining, how long is it going to rain for this morning? Somewhere around 10 o'clock, which is good. Then we can get some field work in. So, might as well spend the first couple of hours taking care of the animals and giving them what they need. How much wool do we have here? Probably should bring the wool over because we are getting kind of close to the year where it's time to sell clothing. So, getting wool over and getting more clothing. Last time I checked, it was somewhere around 600 grand that we're going to get for clothing. And that's before the bonus score. All right, let's come over here. We'll give the cows water first. Because we're kind of like right here. Manure should be brought over. Slurry should be brought over to the BGA to make some cash. All right, let me double check again on the animals. What do the cows need? Cows could use some straw as well. And the food, I can take care of them after I get done working somewhere around today. But overall, not too bad. All right, we'll leave that there. Let's grab the John Deere, because why not? It's the newest tractor on the farm. Nope, that's not the John Deere. There's the John Deere. Let's grab the trailer. All right, was it the sheep? Yeah, let's go take care of the sheep first. So power food. I haven't got this down yet. It's not sugar beet. Grain grist. It's got to be grain grist, right? Sheep, power food, grain grist. All right, well, let's go over and grab some of that. So yeah, a little bit of a landscaping I did between episodes as well. The roads going around the farm used to be mostly dirt. I've been starting to put down gravel in the more traveled areas. And I made the corners a little bit more wider. And I got gravel going all the way down towards at least the bridge. I assume it's like gravel on the other side. Yeah, looks like it. Actually, I should be using the JCB for this. That one has a little bit more top end speed. Didn't realize the John Deere topped out at 29. It's all good. Well, we got a lot of grain grist in here. Maybe just 5,000 liters would be good. So I'm guessing we got some new animals overnight. Actually, 5,000 liters is probably too much. Well, it's going in anyways. We did say take care of our animals' health. So either we got new animals, maybe sheep. Maybe that's why they went through the food a little bit more than I thought, or just didn't calculate that right. It shouldn't be because we ran low of a certain quality of food for the animals. That should only matter if we had no food for the animals. They got food, just not of every category that they prefer. A little bit wider at that entrance. Same with this entrance. I made it a little bit wider, plus I extended it more out towards the grass field because I tend to drive out further on this side when I have the implements with us. Really need to get close to that food trough. And it's going to do that. Hopefully I don't go flying across the map, but we're all set, I guess. Okay, sheep, power food, that's looking good. Moisture food, that is sugar beet. We got plenty of that, so let's go get some sugar beet for them. Not what you want when you gotta get the farming season really started and you wake up and it's raining out, but luckily it's only for a couple of hours. Although, probably in real life, you'd probably have to wait a while after it rains so the soil would dry up just a little bit before you get into the fields and try to plant. Sugar beet. Oh yeah, we got tons of sugar beet here. Yeah, that's good enough. Speaking of sugar beet, do I need to bring some over? I did upgrade that, so that's going to be way down here. Oh yeah, I was thinking about bringing some cut sugar beet over so I can process not just sugar beet, but also cut sugar beet at the same time. I guess I could lease one of those machines, one of those trailers, and just bring some cut sugar beet over. Yeah, it's too bad that trigger doesn't come up a little bit further so the trailer doesn't clip the roof. Alright, so now... nope, not that button. Let's go in and check on the chickens. I know they need some love and care with base food, which is corn? Might be corn. Let's see here. Chickens, base food, corn. So we are running, if you're kind of new to the Hinterland series here, on this Let's Play, we got Maizeplus, and then we are running the Maizeplus food add-on. So the animals are going to take different types of food for different types of categories. I do have corn in here still, I hope. Yep, got plenty of it. Yeah, we'll just throw that much in there. I'm not going to do any calculations this morning. My brain does not feel like doing any calculations of the ratios I need. It's a little too bad that there's not like a mixer for the chickens and the sheep and all the animals for like a TMR for them, but... All right, so how do the chickens look now? They look actually pretty good for a little while. Yeah, I'll probably take care of them later on in the day. So right now the cows are fine for a little while. I'm just trying to check to see what animals that we got that it said check on their health. Might be sheep. Although chickens are probably the obvious choice because they reproduce every 2 months. And there's 50 new chickens right there. Alright, so we should start getting a whole bunch more eggs. Let's see, next step, I think let's go ahead and grab the wool, and we'll bring that over to the spinnery so we can make more clothing. So I don't need the trailer, and I don't think I need the John Deere. I'm going to start using the JCB for doing the transporting because that's what it's for. I will be using the John Deere here in a little while when it comes time to planting. So for now, you can just be parked right there. Oh, I should also repair the JCB. JCB is getting a little bit worn, so let's go repair that if I have the money for it. Just shy of $6 grand. Should be in the trigger. And repair for $34.79. And once I bring the manure and slurry over from the cow barn to the BGA, well, our bank account will look a little bit better. Oh, being March, I should check, even though we're getting ready to do the clothing. What is the price of the clothing? It's like late April and May, right? Or sorry, late March and April, right? For clothing. Just look for the big number on the right-hand side. That'll help us out. Clothing. May. Okay, so it's March. So it's not going to be... So it's April, May. Oh, well. Now we got plenty of manure to bring over. And where there's manure, there is slurry. But let's get that clothing brought over. Or not the clothing. What will be clothing here in a while. Let's bring the wool over. Grab every pallet, please. Thank you. So 2,500. Alright, so I'm going to bring this over to the spinnery. Then I'm going to go ahead and bring the manure and the slurry over to the BGA. I'll see you somewhere after the rain stops, which should be like 10 o'clock-ish. And we're going to get also Frank or Frank Jr., whoever. They're going to be working alongside us as well. So I'll see you in a little bit. 101,000 liters of manure was brought over. So we're getting to be almost a full trailer load every 2 months of manure. And we got just shy of 50,000 liters of slurry. But we did bring slurry over last month. So this is all within a month. A good amount. I always have all my trailers on the wrong side of the river. Can't help it. Like I said, having a second truck would be good, but I can only drive one truck at a time anyways. Alright, the top of the hour just came, so... Doesn't matter. It's all going to be processed by the end of the day anyways. Actually, we can speed up time now so the rain will stop. Thought the forecast said around 10, but that could be like 10, 10:30 even. Oh, there we go. It says the rain has stopped. Now it's going to take a while for the rain to actually stop. And just like that, we're back up to 24,000, which is nice. Gives us some money to buy some fertilizer and seed if we need to. Probably should have brought the grain trailer back. I probably need that over here more than the slurry tanker. Yeah, having the wider corner here is paying out. Although it's not like it stopped me before. Just drove over the grass, but now it's a lovely gravel texture. Now the cow barn always seems busy with all the tankers around. The water tanker, the milk tanker, the slurry tanker, the TMR mixer. The JCB is living over here now, taking care of the TMR mixer. Alright, we can turn that off there. Alright, so the animals are okay for a few hours anyways. Yeah, the rain did actually stop. We're at ×5. Let me turn that down to ×3. Because we got a lot of work to do in this month. We're not going to get all done this one episode, but you know, we're going to get some of it done. Where is my Case Magnum tractor? There it is. How are we doing on that? Let's go top it off with some fuel. So it looks like the last thing I did with this thing was wrap up the bales in November. So I can use this all during the winter. You can see our cotton is growing. That's going to be our only cotton field for this season. We still have a lot more cotton in the spinnery than we do wool. Although, you know, thinking back on it now, you know, should I have planted cotton at all? Part of me wants to say it's not worth it, but I think the amount of cotton we're going to get off that field, and, you know, once we make fabric and clothing, we'll get our monies back on it. So we're not going to be in the Case Magnum here. We're going to hire ourselves a worker to plow the cotton field from last year. Now, I don't need to plow the cotton field. Our direct drill will should be able to plant right in it, no problem. But I'm thinking in real life, when the stocks are that high, I think it might be a good idea to go ahead and plow it. So we got the equipment to do so now with the extra John Deere on the farm. The Case Magnum can plow the field while we use the John Deere to plant a field right next to it. And it's not going to take them long to plow the field anyways. After running out of fuel last year in the Case Magnum, I try to make sure I keep my eye on the fuel gauge now. And again, I got my fuel usage on high in the option settings. That's why I'm going through a lot more fuel. Yeah, with this plow here, they should have the job done within like 5 minutes, I would think. Something like that. The old farmhouse. I really need to come over here and just spend like 5-10 minutes with the construction tool, landscaping tool. I mean, we don't spend no time over there other than we run over, we sleep for 30 seconds, and then we leave. That's all we ever really do. Actually, let me come over here. We'll start in this corner. We're going to be in the field right in front of us with the John Deere. Make sure I don't have this on create fields, which I'm pretty sure I don't. Yeah, we're all set there. Alright, we need to come into here and we need to go to hire a worker, create job. Go to... Oh, look at that. It's already got the field selected for me. That's nice of them. And yeah, go that way. Multi-tools. 1. Number of headlands. I think 2 would be good. I'll narrow the working width a little bit just to make sure they try to cover everything. And I think that's good. 2 headlands. Yeah, everything looks good there. Create a course. And I will start the course for them because the setting I have is not start at the first waypoint, start at the nearest waypoint. Control H. Actually, let's see, who's working today? Ah, it's Frank. We're in trouble. Yeah, this field here, I've been noticing now a couple fields that do require some lime, so we can take care of that later on. You don't realize how many vehicles you got until you start tabbing through them. Alrighty, John Deere, let's go, and let's go grab the drill on the other side. Someone did mention about the John Deere, saying it sounds lovely, just the way it should. Sounds like a real John Deere, apparently. That's actually on... Oh, I did plant grass. So the field that we're going to be doing, I got my little scrap piece of paper here. After I went around with crop rotation, we want barley. Barley. And you know what? I don't think I'm going to need any of this material, but we'll top it off because we're going to have plenty of seeding and whatnots to do this spring. Okay, that's the seed, and if I pull forward, fertilizer, there we go. We will go out this way, I suppose. So we got about 40 more horsepower than what's required to pull this Horsch direct drill seeder. And since we're mostly on flat land, it should be alright. And this is what's really good about having the John Deere on the farm now, because the Case Magnum can do what it does best, which is, grab the beefy stuff and take care of it. And I can use the John Deere. Now, usually I would have used the JCB, but I think the JCB is mostly for transporting stuff back and forth around on the fields. Oh wait, this field's right here. We're all set. Lower that down. And start planting. But yeah, JCBs... I don't see many JCB tractors where I'm from. I'm from the northeast of the United States. The only JCBs I see are like skid steers and telehandlers, but I don't see much tractors for JCBs around here. We are using a lot of fertilizer, but that's fine. Seed rate is very low for the soil type, which is fine. So we are going to have a couple fields of wheat this year. Actually, 2 of them. One of them we are not going to actually harvest for wheat. We're going to make crop silage out of it. Crop silage is key for us because that is for the sheep, which I'll be feeding sheep some crop silage later on. And this John Deere seems to be doing just fine with the drill. No problems. And there goes Frank plowing up the cotton. Yeah, I think from here on forward, even though the cotton field, like I said, the cotton does not require you to plow the field after harvesting. It's just that for me, I look at the stalks that high, and if I went over there to start seeding in that field, this drill should be fine because this is a direct drill. But any real farmers out there, let me know, with stalks that high, would you not cultivate it or something beforehand to knock the stalks down so when you go to plant it next season, it's not that much of a trouble for your drill, if it's a direct drill. So is this an 8530 now? Yeah, 8530 is the model number of the John Deere that we got, with a 345 horsepower engine. And I'm very happy with this Horsch drill that we got too. At first, when I started making the fields this size, I was kind of concerned that maybe it was too small of a drill. I think with the amount of fields that we got, it's working fine. But if I had like double the amount of fields, even though they keep the same size, with that much work, then maybe upgrading it to like a drill with a cart. The real big boys could, you know, come in handy. But we're going to rip through these fields really quick. So just to let you see, I didn't write down what the ratio was for crop rotation on the field. I just wrote down what crop to put in. But this field here, we got a crop rotation score of 110%. So before, when I was benching like it's a 1.15, that'd be 115%. Or if we go into a field where it's a 0.9 harvest ratio, that's 90% yield. So obviously we would like to stick to something, you know, where it's evened out at 100% or a bonus by doing a crop rotation. So it just adds a little bit more to me to farming, rather than just say, okay, this is our wheat field, every year we just put wheat into it. If you do that with crop rotation, the yield is going to go down, 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 down. You got to mix in different types of crops. But I'm pretty sure there's going to come a time where I do a series here. Not with the two series we got going now, but maybe in the future where I don't do precision farming and crop rotation. That was actually on Cylinder. We didn't have crop rotation or precision farming. It was just like, yeah, just throw that crop in there and we're good to go. Sometimes it's nice just to hop into a game and not have to think too much of what you got to do. It's kind of like right now on Goldcrest Valley, which is kind of interesting with the only being able to buy used vehicles not used, and having a limit of only being able to lease 5 items at a time. Already, like in the first episode, going to yesterday's episode, I had to figure out where I was here in recording times. It was like, okay, wait a minute, before I can lease that, I already got 5 items, I need to return that, but I still need to use that there. So you got to figure out how to, when to return items and when to lease other ones. But I do like the challenge of it, the thinking part of it. I think that's what keeps Farming Simulator interesting for myself, because I've been playing it since 13. I've forgotten more than I can remember, apparently. Because I made the mistake saying sheep were introduced in FS17 when they were actually introduced in FS13. But to keep the game interesting, I like to throw different challenges and wrinkles into it, or trying out new mods. Like here, we're trying out Maizeplus and the Maizeplus food add-on. And sometimes you find something like this, and that's when you realize, oh, I didn't think I was going to like it, but then you find out you really like it. As for Maizeplus in this series, I'm not sure I'm liking it. It's okay, but for me right now, it's not, I don't know, it's just not doing it for me, I don't think. Of course, I'm not using it as what it was made for, because the good thing about the mod is it gives you the options of how you want to do it. Like mostly like for the grass, as we have seen, I probably should be mowing the grass without the conditioner, and then using a tedder to ted it to from wet grass to, semi-dry grass, and then have to ted it again to get over to hay if you want to do that. So we are going through the fertilizer more than the seed currently. I'm guessing I may get the whole field done before I run out of other stuff. And once Frank gets done and I get done with this field here, Frank will be done long before I am. But I'll go over and just touch up a few areas that he will have missed, which is usually the corners. And this field here was plowed because last year we had sugar beet into it. Yes, we're not in really good soil right now because the seed rate, I'm planting more seed than I was before. I'm in the reds. And it's not taking that much fertilizer either, which means the soil right here is not good. But not much we can do about that. We cannot change the soil type. Alright, so if Frank is going up and down the fields, I might as well start doing so.
Now that I'm looking back, I can see all the signs I tried to fill in the cracks that were spread in my mind, but I was all out of hope, lost in an endless maze. The emptiness had unfolded just like a void, but you broke the coldness somehow and lit up a flame. And ooh, I was done feeling hopeless, screamed out loud because it felt impossible in my bones, like getting blood out of the stone on my own. But you came around and removed the thorn in my soul. You guided me out of the storm. I found home in your arms of gold, in your arms of gold, in your arms of gold. It's funny how easily a life can be torn apart. Why couldn't I simply see that I was sick at heart and I am in deep debt? The climb we did was unreal. You made me so speechless. I just can't believe it. You broke the
And just like that, well, I call him Frank, but apparently it's Cal. Cal's finished his job over there plowing up the field. Did a really good job, actually. Just at the corners, like always. And I don't dive too deep into course play to figure out how to do the corners better. I just set it up and let us do the thing. That's all I do. I can deal with the corners later on if I want to. Don't really need to. Like I said, this direct drill should have no problem planting. Let's see, if we're going to have that field's going to be wheat. But I am just about done here as well. And the 8530 performed flawlessly in this field. It's one of those things in Farming Simulator you're never quite sure on when an implement will say it requires this much horsepower. And then sometimes you could use a tractor that's way under that horsepower and it works fine. And there's other times you get an implement that requires like 200 horsepower and you have a tractor that's 225 horsepower and on flat ground it doesn't reach its max working speed. This John Deere does have 40 more horsepower than required for the drill, and seems like that is spot on because it's having no issues whatsoever. Now, of course, I start going uphill. I would expect to lose maybe a little bit of the max speed of the implement, but overall. Alright, barley is planted. And next time, may get a worker to plant the wheat in there while we take care of the animals. And now I am done with the case magnum for plowing up the fields, I do believe. I was getting ready to turn off the engine. I was like, I don't want the leasing fee to go up. That's my other series. That's Goldcrest Valley. I can let the engine run. Just waste diesel fuel. And Frank didn't waste no time to get out of here. He's like, job's done. I'm going back home. Now, this plow has saved me a good amount of time compared to... I was going to get the other plow that I always use, but this one being twice as wide definitely has saved me a lot of time on these fields. Let me erase that course plate. Clear current course. There we go. That way we don't have the blue lines in there. And there we go. This field's, like I said, it's ready for wheat. So yeah, we got wheat in this field. The barley just saw. The other field down there is going to be oats. So it's almost like all the cereal crop was on the other side of the river last year. This year it's on this side. And over on the other side, well, that's going to be soybeans, sugar beet, potatoes. And we're going to actually have a canola field along with another wheat field. So we still got a lot more to plant, but it's almost already noon here today. We don't have to get it all done in March. We can plant some in March, some in April. But I'm going to have to double check to see what months we can plant what. And make sure anything that has to be done before April gets done this month, because we don't want to miss it. And the good news is our BGA with the manure and slurry has gotten our money back up to almost $40,000. So that's going to be good. In a couple months when we sell that clothing, which currently, if we look at our stock market, as I call it, where is it? Now we're up to $770,000 of clothing if we sell it at its peak price. And that is before our environmental score bonus. So, we could have $1 million of clothing. That will help us out with our loan interest every midnight quite a bit by taking $1 million off. We owe just under $9 million of the original 10 that we borrowed. But other than that, everything's looking good. Yeah, we may have to go around with the JCB. I think that'll be a good job for the JCB. Go around and spread some lime on the fields. And I probably can use quartz plate for that, because I don't think I'm going to go through a whole trailer load of lime in the Breedle spreader on these fields. So our score, I mean, we're just okay in pH value. So right now, expected yield in this field, yield potential was 89%, but with our crop rotation, we got up to 95%. And I could probably get a little bit better, of course, once we get the nitrogen in. And of course, you can see the field does need rolling, but I did that on Solyndra, and I don't plan to do it really on this series here at all. But anyways, that's going to do it for today, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching as always. I'll catch you again right here in Hinterland, but until then, have a good one.